All right, guys, it is Thursday, and we are wrapping up a red day. I'm actually kind of excited to do this episode, it being the very first red day of this channel. So, because with green days, you can, I don't know, I feel like you can get away easier with being sloppy because you're green, right? We made money, yay. But with these red days, I think we can dive a little deeper and kind of figure out what exactly it is that we did wrong and take lessons, take lessons for tomorrow and continuing. So let's get into it. Today we are down a $97.28. So not the smallest red day, but it is it's not an outrageous red day, which is good. I think I kept it honed in quite well today, which I think I was able to maintain some decent discipline today, which is good. I told you guys, I had a feeling, we're due for a red day. Every little green streak I have, I feel like I have to break it up with a red day, which is why I'm kind of happy it happened today, and I was ready for it. And I don't know, I almost got up today and I was like, all right, there was this inkling feeling. I'm like, all right, today you're going to be red, and if you are, just manage your risk. Cut your losses like we were talking yesterday, and it won't be a big deal. So, getting up this morning, we had HCAI. So, pre-market, it was up 100% on the day, which I was like, good. And the rest kind of falls down all the way down to 40 and below, which is good because that means that we have a single stock focus right now. That there is one obvious stock, and usually that's kind of what I like it to be. Is I don't have to be trying to pay attention to multiple different tickers, and it just starts getting a little dispersed attention everywhere, and it gets a little slower or messy or not very clean moves. But yeah, so I saw this HCAI up there, and I mapped. Let's actually go right here. It'll be easier to show you guys. I mapped out. We were right here pre-market. I saw that we had these two tops right here, so I drew that out as a somewhat of a flat top, slightly descending, and I was looking here on the daily chart. Let's move to here, and actually, if I can zoom in, a lot of reverse splits with this one, but actually. We didn't have any resistance. We opened right here. Opened at what is this here? Where did we open? Why can't I see? Here we go. We opened today at 11.07, so $11, and we were already above this previous resistance right here with this higher volume day and top right here. We were above that, so I wasn't worried about that. So the next point of resistance would be all the way up to $16 a share with this other higher volume day. So did kind of get me excited, and the 200 is, all the way up there. So this felt like we had a lot of room to move up. So this is what got me really excited. Is this did not have news, and that's not the part that got me excited. What got me excited was yesterday with what stock was it? I can't exactly remember what the stock was, but we had a move. I went over in yesterday's recap after I was done trading, and a stock went up 400% on the day. Also on no news, it was just halting up and up and up. So what I was thinking was going to happen is we were going to have some people with FOMO, and similar move would happen over here. And we did have the daily chart pattern to be able to do that. Lots of room. So I got excited looking at this. Going right here into the open. So I drew these points out, right? And then I fumbled a little. What happened here? So right at into 9:30, right? We opened and we dipped and we came back up here, and this was my entry. But I suppose where I may have fumbled or could have done better was waited for this break. I just saw a large amount of volume, large amount of buying, so I thought that we were going to be squeezing up immediately. I didn't wait for confirmation, which is a no-no. I mean, sometimes it's okay to anticipate, but with something like with this, with no news, the float also, not to mention the float is extremely low with this. Right here, you can see 163,000 shares. So very, very low float, right? We're looking at stuff that's ideally, 1 million shares is very low already. This is a fraction of that. So we were seeing very high flow rotation. It was moving quickly. There was a lot of attention on it. So I thought we were gonna squeeze immediately, and I had the right idea but the wrong timing, because we squeezed up. I entered right here because with slippage and stuff, if we break, this stuff happens really quick, and you could miss your entry completely. So I got in at, let's see here, where exactly did I buy? 250 shares at 11.11 was my first trade. So yeah, we came up here. I admit I did get in early, right? I was trying to anticipate, and we came up here, and then we faltered here. We kind of were moving around slowly, and then we started to dip back down. This being a no news stock and it not going right away, it was like a breakout or bailout kind of deal, and I decided to take the loss as it came back down. It sold off, and I thought what was going to happen was we were going to just see a continuation sell-off, perhaps the company selling shares, etc., etc. But actually we sold off, and almost as soon as I did, we opened down here and just ripped all the way up, past beyond this so quickly that I didn't have a single chance to get in. I tried to, but I'm telling you, it moved from, like, once it came back up here, it moved from like 11.25 to this halt in literally a second. I had no room to get in here. It halted immediately going up, and this sent, I will admit, this set a little bit of emotions for me, and nothing more than I could handle. But I was like, darn it, I took this trade. It was about a $45 loss. Which is, it's not a big deal. It's a small. I am glad I stopped out, right? Because it could have been much more. But yeah, I stopped out right there, and stopping out and it continuing lower feels great. But when you stop out and then immediately ripping up, just you feel a little sick, And I'm like, darn it. Like, I had the right idea, but just wrong timing. If I had waited for this to come back up with volume and break, perhaps I would have been more prepared and could have gotten in and into this halt. But I did. And you know what? It's fine. I missed it. But I was feeling a little bit of FOMO from what happened yesterday. But I was also just thinking that we were going to see some similar movement and excitement from traders, being that this had so much room to squeeze. But so I actually got ready to buy the open of this halt here. So it was a 10-minute halt because we were getting the bid was all the way up past $20. Like, I think the bid hit 25 or 27 at one point. So this felt like, I was like, okay, here we go. We're about to have this same kind of move. However, we opened. I bought into the open. And let's see what price here. Bought into the open at $13.54. Right here, $13.54. So pretty high. It opened and moved up, and I thought we were about to have another halt up, another short squeeze happen here. But you know what? It didn't happen, and that's to be. It's not necessary to be expected, but it's to be expected that there's a high chance it's not going to work, right? Or a higher chance just because we had a large move the other day does not mean we're going to have the same thing happen here. I thought it could happen, it didn't. So what did I do? Once I saw that it was weak, we weren't going up immediately. We kind of came back down, and I said, you know what? Let's call it. I'm like I said yesterday. I don't feel like going into Friday with a sizable loss to have to try to recover. I'd much rather close a day with red an amount that I can recover in a day. So I'm not angry. In fact, I'm almost happy it happened because it's gonna set my uh, on occasion when I'm having a green streak. You can not necessarily get overconfident, but you start getting used to the fact that you're green every day. And like I said yesterday, emotions can kick in. So me being a little more prepared and a little more composed for this. I tried it again with smaller size, didn't work. Two smaller losses added up to an average size loss there. So, but yeah, as long as we didn't lose more in one day than we can make back in one day, I think we're okay. I didn't spiral. I didn't hold this into oblivion. Could I have could I have waited to see if it was gonna actually break down here and actually fail, or if it was gonna come back up? Because if it did, and I could have sold for break even or a small profit, but I would much rather have not. It just wasn't worth it for me. And if I was already in profit from here, that'd be a different story, right? That would be a very different story. Then I'm a lot more willing to hold to see if these things hold up and test them a little bit more. But when you're already down and you're trying it out again, fail once, fail twice, three strikes you're out, or two strikes you're out in this case. So tested it, didn't work. That's okay. It's a red day, but not a terrible one. I would call this a successful red day. So yeah, going into tomorrow, we're just gonna be cautious. I suppose lesson learned here is don't get too confident from momentum you saw the other day. First, wait to see it and then jump in. And of course, I suppose here, just waiting for confirmation. I should have waited to see this break. I mean, that's why we draw these points of resistance in the first place, right? So yeah, just waiting for confirmation, taking setups when we see them, not always just trying to anticipate. And yeah, keep losses small, lock up small losses, and lock up the big gains, right? That's what this is all about. So yeah, going into Friday, we're looking good. This has still been a very decent week, and even if tomorrow's going to be a small red day or a small green day, we're still wrapping up the week looking to be in pretty good shape. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today. Hope you guys did well today in your trading. And yeah, good luck this Friday. Hope to see you guys tomorrow for another daily recap.